So, official images of the new LEGO Star Wars Mech sets just released to the public for the first time, and dang do they look good. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode here on the channel. Today we are looking at the new official Star Wars Mech set images that Jay's Brick blog just very recently released from LEGO to the public domain. And man do they look good. If you want to see the sets in closer detail for yourself and hear my thoughts and opinions on the set, then stick around. Let's dive in, shall we? Starting off with the Darth Vader mech, the set number appears to be 75368 and will potentially have 139 pieces. The reason I say it this way is because there is the possibility that while this appears to be the final development for the sets, it wouldn't be the first time a set was later recalled last minute or even after hitting shelves for some tweaks. Taking a look at the Vader minifigure first, we can see he has arm and leg printing like we saw in the recent Emperor's Throne Room diorama set, which means that this will be a cheaper way to get that minifigure if you don't want to spend $100 on the other set, which means his face printing is probably the same as well, which I'm fine with. The mech itself looks cool. For the most part, it looks like a mech suit for Vader, although I do feel like something is missing, like a giant cloth piece for a cape for the mech, but nevertheless still looks good with the black and red highlights throughout. And I'm curious about that lightsaber blade piece. I don't think I've seen that piece before. Maybe I'm wrong, and if so, please comment down below where else that piece has been. I love the detail of the controls for Vader's suit on that 2x2 tile piece in the front on his chest. Hopefully that's a printed piece and not a sticker. I also like that we have a place to put Vader's minifigure scale lightsaber on the back of the mech when he's in said mech. Really nice feature to include so that way you don't lose the piece when you're not using it. Moving on to the second mech we're taking a look at, it's the Stormtrooper Mech, set number 75370, and it again is supposed to include 139 pieces. Starting with the minifigure, this time, you guessed it, a Stormtrooper. The Stormtrooper looks really good in my opinion. I believe this is actually a new design for the Stormtrooper, at least the torso and legs. The printing is very clean and detailed, and I like that white hip piece we get instead of the black. It makes the overall minifigure blend together really well, and the helmet looks the same as to what we got last year, which is fine. I like the look of last year's helmet. Unfortunately, no arm printing for him though, which is a bit disappointing because the other two minifigures in these sets do have said arm printing, but it's still an exciting minifigure in my opinion. His mech looks exactly like how I imagined it would, at least with the color scheme being white and black. The first thing that catches my attention with the mech is his chest symbol of the Imperial logo, which is perfect because the Empire is all about control and letting everyone know who's in charge, and I think the set captures that perfectly by having their symbol front and center. Again, it looks like you have a place to store the minifigure weapon when he's not using it there on the side like a holster. And the mech blaster looks really good. It seems like it's proportional to the mech itself, while also not looking too small either. And it comes equipped with a stud shooter, which is great if you like the playability feature. Other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot else to say about this set, so let's move on to the third and final mech, which is Boba Fett's mech, set number 75369. It includes 155 pieces and is probably the best looking of the three mechs in my opinion. This thing is stacked with colors, weapons, and the overall design is perfect, but we'll get into that in a second. Let's first quickly talk about this new design for Boba. It looks like another fresh new print design, including arm printing for him. He comes equipped with everything you would expect from him, including his jetpack and rangefinder. I honestly wasn't sure if he would come with his jetpack in this set, but I'm glad LEGO decided to include it. Now, moving on to the mech, right off the bat, looking at this thing, I feel kind of intimidated between his blaster and rocket jetpack. I wouldn't want to pick a fight with this mech, and I love how looking at Boba standing there in his mech, it feels like he belongs in it. I don't really know how to explain it, but compared to the other two, he just fits nice and snug in there, and it looks good. We again see another 2x2 tile piece in green this time for his chest armor piece. Hopefully it's printed on and not a sticker we have to try and line up perfectly ourselves. It also looks like he has two clips on either side of his belt to store any weapons he's carrying at the time, similar to what we saw with the Stormtrooper Mech. and the shoulders look a bit beefier than the others as well. Using those yellow curved bricks is a really nice use of parts. I don't know if the rocket itself fires. Hopefully we have some type of flick fire mechanism included with that. If not, I'm sure it wouldn't be hard to adjust yourself when the set comes out. Speaking of which, these sets are estimated to come out later this year in August, and the retail price will be about $20 per mech, which feels a little steep considering sets like this used to cost $10 to $15, but I think it's still acceptable, especially for the Boba and Vader mechs. And that's going to wrap up today's content. Go ahead and leave your thoughts and opinions on the sets down below. And if you haven't already checked out my other videos so far, then please feel free to do so. Also, leaving a like helps me know you're interested in seeing this type of content. And why not subscribe while you're at it so you don't miss featured content. Thank you to everyone who watches, and we'll see you next time. As always, stay safe and have fun building.